Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack wide body that is crazy in terms of the pricing. You guys will understand in a little bit. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Schmiller Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with this Challenger. Check out the inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So first off, powering this car, we have a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes through a 6-speed manual transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 485 horsepower and then 475 pound-feet of torque. Love how it says powered by SRT, and there you go. Now let's go over the front end. So first off, you guys can see we have the what was previously the Hellcat hood, but it's not the Hellcat hood anymore. So you've got the venting there in the center, and then on either side looks really aggressive. And then coming down below, we've got the projector bulbs with the LED accent lights that wrap around it. And you guys can actually see that this is closed off here. Got the RT logo right there, and then down below you guys can see more venting, super aggressive. This one still has the delivery chin splitter, and yeah, overall really aggressive looking front end. Now coming to the side here, we've got 305mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and in the rear as well. And the reason it's got such wide tires is because this has the wide body package, as you can see. And look how massive the Brembo brakes are. I got the SRT script on it, but again, 20-inch wheels. And so you can just see how massive the brake rotor is. It is just absolutely insane. 392 logo there on the side. And then you guys can see, taking a few steps back, just how cool this car looks with the wide body package. And then popping here to the rear, you guys can see again we've got the red brake caliper, again with the SRT script on it, and then notice the darker fuel cap. And again, from every single angle, this car just looks really good with the wide body package. So here's our key fob. We have our unlock, lock, and then the opening for the trunk, and then the Dodge logo there on the back. We'll pop the trunk here and lift that up. You guys can see the storage space here, and notice this car is just clean, that's why it's dripping water, if you guys are wondering. You guys can see the floor mats have the red outlining around them. I think that's such a cool touch, but I mean, for a muscle car, this has really good storage space, so I think that Dodge has nailed it from that perspective, especially compared to the Camaro and the Mustang. And then we'll just slow lower this back down, and let's go over the rest of the elements in the rear. So we have the spoiler here that was formerly like the Hellcat spoiler, and then you guys can see here with the LED tail lamps, and I'll actually illuminate those for you guys so you can see with the LEDs. Dodge logo there in the center, and then you can see the exhaust tips down below. And speaking of exhaust, I would do a remote start, but it's a manual, so obviously can't do it. But yeah, definitely a nice sound out of the 6.4 Hemi. There's parking sensors integrated into the back, and well, can't show you the back view, but that's everything for the exterior. Let's pop inside. So here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see the red contrasted stitching. It's actually padded here at the top, and then you have the leather trim down below. Again, more red contrasted stitching. I love the contrast between the red and the black. Sorry about the camera freaking out just because of the low light. Got your window controls, which are automated. And you guys can see you've got the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring. And then the Challenger door handle. I love how it's red even at the bottom. Now, before we go over the front seat, you guys can see the rear seat area with the Alcantara. You've got the black leather all around as well. I think it looks fantastic. Black seat belts. And the nice thing about the Challenger is you can fit people in the rear, even adults. Can't do that with the Camaro or the Mustang, so that's another big benefit. And then you guys can see the seats here. I think these look so cool. So you've got the red stitching. Now it's got the Scat Pack logo there in the center. And then you can see the Alcantara with the perforated Alcantara there in the center. And seats just look really good overall. They're partially power adjustable, partially manually adjustable. And then here's the 3-pedal layout, because again, this is a manual transmission. Got the light control just above. The steering wheel is power adjustable. And there's a look before we pop in. So here is our steering wheel. You guys can see you've got the leather here at the top and at the bottom. Perforated leather here on the sides so you get a better grip. We have a regular cruise control, no adaptive cruise control. Radio controls on the back. Got controls for the center stack, and then your voice command phone controls. Turn signal / windshield wiper stock, and there you go. Notice we've got the center gauge cluster here, so we've got the RPMs on the one side, which is very important because it's a manual, and then the speed on the other side notice goes up to 180. And then there's a bunch of different menus you can scroll through here to see different bits of vehicle information. You got the performance page, which is pretty cool. That'll show you all the different timers, G-forces, all that fun stuff. Oh, you guys can see the best G-forces on this so far. And then fuel economy as well. And yeah, there's just a bunch of different stuff that you can scroll through here with that speed warning. I don't need that in a Challenger. Now, the other thing to mention is when you go into the different drive modes, it will pop up here in the center. So like sport mode takes stability control off. You got like track mode as well, custom, and then auto. So it will give you kind of like a warning with the different drive modes there in the center. Speaking of different drive modes, let's go over the infotainment system and the different modes. So you have auto, custom, sport, and track. Now you can do a shift light. Has line lock as well, and then it's got launch control. So I know it might be confusing with the manual, like why would this have launch control? So what it does, it just holds the RPMs, so then you can just flat foot the throttle all the way down, and then you can just, you know, do the normal like release clutch, all that fun stuff, and hold on for dear life, and roast the tires because this has almost 500 horsepower. But you can see you can also customize the drive mode, so you can set up what the drive modes have, which is another cool customization here. And if we press the drive mode select, it'll go back here. So we've got like race options too. So notice that whole setup. And then we've got the performance pages as well, which will show like real-time horsepower, torque, and everything. They do take a second to load up. And while it's loading up, this is the carbon fiber interior package. So notice we got carbon fiber here around the infotainment system. But notice it shows like real-time horsepower and torque. So I'll just like feather the throttle. You can see that it goes up a little bit. So that's pretty cool. Heated cooled seats. Definitely a nice feature. Heated steering wheel as well. Dual zone climate. Navigation. You know, it's a nice feature to have. And overall, the infotainment system is really easy to use. Response time with the screen is fantastic. The SRT dashboard is the same thing that we were at before. And then finally, we got to pop it into reverse so you guys can see. Backup camera, you guys can probably hear the parking sensors, but trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel, so you got that whole setup right there. So we've got our analog controls here for the radio, drive mode select, launch control, which you can do in the stability control, and then the climate controls. And notice the carbon fiber trim all around. And then we have the shifter for the 6-speed manual. I love the feeling of it. So really notchy into the gears. It just feels really nice. If you guys are wondering, for reverse, it's all the way over and up for the lockout on that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of manual transmissions, this has got to be one of the best out there, just in terms of the feel. And I love how it's the ball shifter. And this is something that you could easily like change out if you wanted something that looks a little bit more retro than what this has from an appearance perspective. Got a couple cup holders here, and then you can see the center console with more of that red stitching and storage space. Got a bunch of charging ports inside of it, and then you can see here with the glove box. And then also on the dash, it's soft touch, and then you've got the stitching that goes throughout. And then finishing things here at the top, we have a premium headliner, so you guys can see it goes onto the pillar, and then it's also here on the headliner itself. No sunroof or anything like that, but yeah, really nice in terms of the headliner. You guys can see my finger mark go across. Sorry, we'll get rid of it. Sunglass holder as well, and let's get into the pricing. So as you guys can see, 2022 Challenger Scat Pack wide body. Feel free to freeze a frame if you want to read the standard equipment. And then we have our optional equipment. So first off, with the wide body package, that's what gives you the Brembo brakes for the front, obviously the wide body fender flares and the performance suspension, all that. From a driving perspective, because I have driven several of these, I can tell you braking performance is significantly better. But the wide body actually gets grip, especially, again, having almost 500 horsepower. Rear-wheel drive actually helps with grip quite substantially. In terms of this suspension, notice it has the adaptive suspension. It's actually very smooth, and then when you want it to be firm, you can. So this also has the Plus package. That's what gives you the Alcantara seats with the Napa leather. And then also the carbon fiber interior package. So it gives you a little bit of carbon fiber, and then the suede headliner, 1,500 bucks for that package. Driver convenience, got the Harman Kardon sound system, amazing sound system, and red brake calipers as well. And then notice it's got a gas guzzler tax because it's the manual transmission, gets worse fuel economy than the automatic, but $63,000 for the total sticker price. It's crazy to me because when I worked at the Dodge store, there were Hellcats, you know, base model Hellcat, no options, that were $63,000, and now Scat Packs are that expensive. But again, obviously, you know, when the original Hellcat was released, that had the narrow body, didn't have the wide body, and didn't have all the nice premium options that this has. So there's, you know, obviously some differences, but it's crazy. $63,000 Scat Pack, and also nice looking truck. that's going to sum things up for our video on this Scat Pack Challenger. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy for giving me some time with the Challenger. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.